In 2670 BCE, the Egyptians began building the first of a great series of structures known as pyramids. The ancient Egyptian pyramids were mostly built west of the Nile, as the divine pharaoh's soul was said to unite with the sun as it set forth the day. The Great Pyramid of Khufu is the sole remaining monument from the seven wonders of the ancient world that stands today. Similar to Egypt, China is home to an emperor's tomb of impressive aesthetics. The burial site of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, is protected by the Terracotta Army, a collection of terracotta sculptures buried with the deceased ruler sealed to protect him in the afterlife. Aside from these ancient monuments, China and Egypt have many other similarities. Cleopatra, the last active pharaoh of Ptolemaic Egypt, is undoubtedly the most known of ancient Egypt's female rulers, and perhaps even the best known of all the Egyptian pharaohs. China's history has its own female power broker, Wu Zetian, the first and only empress of China. Both women were famed for their beauty, but were also strong leaders that demonstrated a keen ability to acquire and manage power. The Egyptians were the first civilization to use scrolls of papyrus to record everything from medical records to the Book of the Dead. Papyrus was first manufactured in Egypt as far back as 4000 BCE, and just like the Egyptians, the Chinese invented a way to record their civilization stories, this time through paper. Although early forms of paper had existed in China since the 2nd century BCE, it was Cai Lun, a 2nd century AD Han court eunuch, who was responsible for the first significant improvement and standardization of paper production. Just like so many civilizations throughout history, both the ancient Egyptians and Chinese lived alongside rivers, with water bringing life and prosperity to both. The Egyptian civilization utilized the Nile to develop their society, while the Chinese were lucky enough to have two water sources to build around, the Yellow and the Yangtze rivers. People have lived in the Nile Delta region for thousands of years, and the region has been intensively farmed for at least 5,000 years. As for China, the Yellow River basin is traditionally believed to be the birthplace of Chinese civilization, with the river referred to in China as the Mother River and the cradle of the Chinese civilization. Canals have also played a hugely important role in the histories and development of both countries. In China, the greater waterway is the Beijing Hangzhou Grand Canal. Built more than 1,000 years ago, the canal remains the longest artificial river in the world and is still in use. In Egypt, it is the Suez Canal that has transformed the country, connecting the Mediterranean and the Red Seas and greatly facilitating global trade. Today, both China and Egypt boast vast cultural heritages, but are also facing development problems such as poverty, unemployment, and pollution. It is perhaps the reason why the two countries tend to share cultural experiences. Before every spring festival, Egypt holds a China-style temple fair in Cairo, attracting numerous Egyptians as they look to learn about China. The Chinese traditional dress is especially favored by Egyptians for its similarity with Egyptian clothes and special beauty. In China, there are a lot of Egyptians working throughout the country, exploring its rich culture and realizing their dreams.